So when exactly was my toughest time? That's probably something that a lot of you are curious about. My toughest time actually wasn't from trading itself. It was because I actually invested in a business. It was a F&B, and I lost everything. When I say lost everything, it's really painful. And at that point of time, I couldn't even think straight. After I lost the amount of money, I lost everything, went into debt. For me, it was really torturing. I was really depressed, and I didn't even want to bring up the story to anyone. Not until I recovered everything. Now I'm back on track. Then I can open up the story and tell all of you what was my exact experience. So when I first made six figures in trading, about 100, to be specific, about 100 something thousand dollars, I made a very reckless decision. Was I thought, hey, if I can consistently make, let's say, 10 20k from the market, I probably can continue making the same amount of money. I was projecting how much can I make without really understanding what's the realistic expectation, because trading is like a business. You got season, you got periods where you're overperforming, you're doing so well. You got seasons or periods where you are underperforming, where you don't earn money or even lose money. So at that time, it was about 3 to 4 years ago. No, it was a long time ago. Because I made some money from the market, I thought, hey, if I continue doing this, I start picturing how much can I make. And that's something that I always tell all of you is don't project how much you can make when your goal is to become a good trader. Our goal, me, you, all of you fellow traders, is to always think about how can I stick to the process, how can I slowly just get money that belongs to me. As a trader, our job is to identify market opportunity that fits into our plan, not us trying to fit into the marketplace and try to grab whatever you want. It doesn't work that way. So what happened that time was I was consistently making money for half year. And then I thought, hey, I'm doing well. Since trading's already giving me consistent profit, why not I start doing something else? And I was distracted. I thought, hey, maybe don't put all of the eggs into one basket. Let me start diversifying my money and everything. And very quickly I invested into at F&B. I have a share. I got a shareholder as well, and I lost everything. When I say everything, was within a short amount of time. I invested all my money. I actually put about 80% of my wealth at that time, my cash, my liquid, into the business, and very quickly, less than a year, I lost everything. So I went into debt. I was quite heavily into debt. And that was probably the toughest time, because when I'm sharing my story to whether it is my students, my traders, my traders inside the 1%ers Trade Club. If you don't know what's the 1%ers Trade Club, check out the link in the description. It's a community that I run to provide realistic expectation. I don't guarantee success. I don't give out fake dreams, but I guarantee if you join us, you'll become better each day. That's my promise. So get back to the story. I always tell my fellow traders, I say, hey, the most painful lesson you can ever have is never to go from here to here, to first floor to the basement. When you fall from first floor to the ground floor to the basement, whatever, it doesn't hurt that much. Maybe you'll crack a little bit here and there, you'll scratch, or you have a bit of wounds here and there, but it doesn't hurt that much. The real pain is when you have achieved that much at your age as compared to your surrounding. You start thinking highly of yourself. You are being overconfident in some sense. You forget that market will humble you. The world will humble you. So what happened was, really, I fell from, if I could use a sentence, something to describe, it's more of like from 10th floor all the way down. Again, when you only have 10,000, you lose 10,000, it doesn't hurt that much. But when you have achieved that much, especially when I was, let's say, 21 years old, you make six figures. You know, as a 21 years old young dude, you make that kind of amount of money, you are actually on the top 1%. So from there, and I very quickly dropped all the way down. And I did not have the courage to tell anyone else because I thought it was so shameful. Imagine your surroundings seeing you live so well. For example, you have Rolex, you have this, you have that, you are always in a 5-star hotel, whatever, and then all of a sudden you just gone missing, right? So that was a really dark period of my life where I just want to hide myself in a box. I don't want to see anyone else. I just need to fix it. I need to fix my problems, whether if it's my mindset, my mentality, or my financial situation. So that was really a tough one. Throughout my entire 6 years plus of trading journey, there were a lot of road bumps, a lot of obstacles, but most of them are just about how can you just be a better version of yourself, how can you stick to the process. So it doesn't really hurt that much. That business failure really did sort of suck into my neuron, can I say that? So it was so depressing. Yeah. At that time, I used whatever resources that I have. I borrowed money from friends, everyone else, and I was in a very fortunate situation that I managed to get out of that, again, through trading. And that's why I always say I love trading. Is my passion, is in my blood. It's because trading is something that really humbles me, as in I went from nothing to something, go back to nothing, plus at my worst I was in about $350,000 debt. So if you are a fellow Malaysian here watching this video, you know $350,000 is about, you just times 4.5, so it's about, so 350k times 4.5, so it was about $1.5 million Malaysian ringgit. So to be someone at that age in this kind of debt, it was depressing. So how did I get out of that? I know a lot of you are probably curious. It was through trading as well. It was about leveraging whatever resources that I have, and I go really big. But before I start doing that, I really calm myself. I really settle down for a little bit. I don't trade for a while. I just focus on all the effort. I told myself the only way I can get out of the hole is to make sure I'm at my peak mental state. I need to be sharp. I need to be clear. I need to not possess that kind of get rich quick mindset. So after reset everything, I go back to square one, go back to trading, and that's when I managed to grow my personal capital again from nothing back to 6 figures. Prop firm is giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. So at that time, was within a year I actually paid off all my debt, and it was tough. So it was really tough. I don't want to be unnecessarily emotional here, because every time when I talk about the story, it did get into me a little bit. It was really difficult. So for whoever you think, Neo is so strong, this some of the best traders out there, I can say Umar Ashraf, some of the really good one, do you think they're built this way? No, they are just like a diamond. You have to keep refining it. You have to master your craft, and you have to go through so much pain to finally become a beautiful diamond that's presenting to the public, just like the bamboo story. Chinese bamboo, you can spend 8 years, you can spend 5 years, 4 years under the soil, and eventually when you start growing, things grows rapidly. That was exactly what I experienced. So my biggest lesson to all of the fellow traders out there is never take trading easily, and never disrespect money. It is when you start disrespecting money, money doesn't come to you. Remember, law of attraction, when you respect money, money will get attracted to you. When you start spending money like tomorrow's the end of the world, when you start disrespecting things that matters a lot to you, that's when things slowly just fade away and everything just disappear. As fast as you can earn money, the faster you can lose everything. Remember, there's a lot of multi-millionaires, they lose everything over a very short span of time. Why? It's because when people start climbing so high, when they start thinking highly of themselves, they lose sense of, they forgot where they came from. And never forget where you came from. And up until today, I always tell myself, hey, I don't care whether if today I make how much money a month. I always remember those days when I had no money. I don't even dare to walk into a McDonald's to order a set meal. I had to really just order a la carte menu like chicken nugget. I have to go to the bakery to buy those really cheap white breads, those loaf to eat, just to make sure I'm full, right? I have to save every single penny just to make sure that I have enough money to pay my rental, everything. Those days were really the most beautiful times, right? When you start having a bit of money, don't forget to keep them. As much as it's important to know how to earn money, to grow your money, don't forget that you need to learn how to keep them as well, because there will always be rainy days. Not every day sun shines in rainbow. There will be rainy days. There will be stormy times where all of a sudden you need that kind of money a lot. So let's say right now you're doing well. $10,000 may not be a lot to you, to me, whatever. But someday when you really go into such a big mess, $10,000 will mean a whole lot to you. It can change your life. All right, so don't be overconfident. Remember, learn from my story. Don't try to don't invest in things that you don't know, and also invest money into education, into your knowledge. Something that can make you smarter, can make you wiser. That's a good expense. So that's it for the sharing, and I hope all of you again learn something new. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what's your biggest lesson after hearing my story, and I'll talk to you next time.